moment trying to get on, especially
We've
when
been
we do
doing
morning.
we've been doing this for a year, and it's still more than a year.
Yeah, I know.
My mug today.
Oh, I brought my mug today. Thank you.
Cute. Okay,
Cute. Yours is
so
so
this
cute, though.
I know, Amy got me
Sorry.
this mug when she came over after we had the baby, and they look like little flower eggs, and I love them, and I love the size. It's like I feel like I can't drink out of a small mug now.
Mm-mm.
So, oh,
I
and my mom got me a one of those like heater pads. I can't show it because it's like plugged in. And I thought I was gonna hate it. Like I thought it was gonna be like tacky feeling, and it's wonderful. So
Oh, that's amazing. I've thought
yeah.
about getting one of those. And then, like, the best version of myself thinks that when the coffee is cold, I will go back to the kitchen. I'll get up off my desk,
Right.
I'll walk,
Get your
I'll
steps
move my
in.
body, get my
Mhm.
steps in, do some stretching, heat my
Yes.
coffee up. Same thing with water. Like, I'm like, oh, if I have a smaller glass, I'll need to refill it more.
Right.
So I'll be forced
Uh-huh.
to get up. Yeah. Instead, I'm
Never
just like
do.
drinking cold coffee and dehydrated.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's the story of remote workers.
I know. Just so like, ah, um, oh man. Okay. So you're getting me in rare form, this morning because I have not had all of my coffee yet.
Okay,
And so I
great.
am
Same. I have not had breakfast yet. So
I know
I
I
know.
shoved something in my mouth. Listeners, we are doing this episode. We're trying to do this episode in between nap time or during nap
Hmm.
time.
Yep.
So
Yes. It's
wish us
it's gonna
luck.
be exciting. She is officially asleep, which is very surprising because she slept all night last night. We were out and about
Oh,
yesterday, and so naps were very like cat naps in the car, not getting a real full nap. And so she slept all night last night, which was wonderful. And I
that's
was like, there's
great.
no way she's going to go down for a nap an hour and a half after waking up. And she did, but we'll see how long it lasts.
Oh, that's great. Maybe
Yeah.
she likes to be out and about like her mommy.
Yes, she's a very social gal. We went
Oh,
and met or I should say our acupuncturist yesterday for the first time.
oh
Yeah,
my
I
god.
took her to meet Dr. Bento, who we are going to officially have on before end of year to answer all of the
Yes.
questions about acupuncture and fertility.
Oh my gosh. I
But
cannot wait. She is like
it's gonna be so
she
good.
she's like a fairy godmother, ethereal character to me that I've just heard about for years. So I'm
Yes.
really excited to meet her.
Yes. And she, yeah, was just like so excited to meet her. And I was showing her, I was like, this is the room that I went in for transfer. And like you were in like you were in utero as like a little tiny 100
Oh,
cells.
that's
So it
very
was
cute.
really, yeah, it was really special because I've spent, like I was telling you, when I drove there while pregnant, it was very emotional making that drive because it was like I've made this drive for 2+ years, like once a week, and then doing it while pregnant and then doing it again yesterday with her in tow. It just, yeah, very
Mm,
a lot of feelings about
I
that.
like that. That's really
Yeah.
sweet. Oh.
But yes, so we had a very social day. For listeners, it's still very warm in Los Angeles, which is
Yeah.
when is it gonna get cozy? Cozy
I
weather.
know. We're gonna do today after we're done with this recording, we're gonna put up the Halloween decorations.
Good.
And it's like
Yes.
gonna be like 80 degrees this afternoon.
Halloween is Amy's holiday
I
slash
know.
October is like your month. Like it's just, I mean, Scorpio season, Halloween, all the things. When does Scorpio season officially start?
It's the best. I think it's not till late October. I don't know exactly when. I should know. I should know, but I don't. One of my best friends is a Libra and her birthday is October 21st. So
Okay.
it's
Yes.
got to be after that.
Yeah, because I have a few November friends with birthdays in November that
Hmm.
are Scorpio.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, this is a good spooky season is my favorite
Spooky
season
season.
because it's not just Halloween and, but it's the overall like festive nature of the back half
Mhm.
of the year that
Mhm.
I love that it brings people together and that you have, opportunities to see family and friends and do silly things together and do really festive
Yeah.
celebratory things together. So I think that's why I love it so much. But also my birthday is the day before Halloween. And so every birthday party I have ever had as a child
Was a
was a
Halloween.
Halloween party.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
it was always a dress up party. Yeah. We were always giving out candy at Halloween and yeah. I love it. I feel all
Do you know
like good
have you
inside.
decided what you're gonna be yet this year?
No, I never
No.
decide in advance, Katie. Do you know me at all?
Do you just pull the wigs out and just
I pull the wigs out. Yeah, somehow I've become, yeah, also a fan of
Yes.
wigs,
Mhm.
wearing
Yeah.
wigs. Yeah. No, we have some work to do on that front. And usually it's kind of the week of situation.
Mhm.
I don't prep very well in advance. I always mean to, but that's just kind of who I am. I guess I gotta lean into who I am.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
I fully support leaning into who you are and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
rolling with it.
I gotta roll with it. Are you
Amazing.
guys gonna dress up? Is loony is See, I
It's
haven't had my
loony.
coffee. It's only half drunk, and I don't know, I'm so tired. Why? I don't have a
Did you
baby.
guys do something last night?
We did like a very basic dinner, had a glass of wine. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I went to bed at 11:30. That was late. Um, and I don't know. I don't know.
We
It's these thingies.
went
These.
these thingies. Oh, yes. Okay, you have to tell us okay, so first of all,
Okay, tell me
welcome back
about
to the
Lumi.
Fried Egg podcast. This is a plug for the fact that we do video because we showed our coffee mugs and Amy is showing off these very
Oh, yeah.
fun metallic stickers that she's wearing. So if you want to watch the pod, you can watch it on YouTube and Spotify. I think Spotify lets you watch it as well, but there is video. If you want to see these fun stickers that Amy is wearing, please share with us what these are.
Okay, wait. I need to go get the pamphlet.
Okay.
I don't remember what it's
It's
called.
a new experimental treatment, and while Amy is doing that, I will just answer her question. No, we have not decided what she is going to be for Halloween. I'm very much like I wanted to do a big costume situation, but at the same time, she's only 3, almost 4 months, and it's like, that's so much effort for a baby. I kinda wanna just put her in a cute like pajama type animal onesie and put some animal ears on her. I don't know if you could hear any of that, but I was
I
sharing with
did.
them. Yeah, okay.
I heard it. Yeah. No, I love
So
that too. I love that.
we might just do that because it's gonna be like, I mean, she can't eat candy. She can't actually like participate in trick or treating. I think
Yeah.
we'll just kind of keep it cozy this year and maybe do something a little bit more fun next year.
Do you ever feel like I'm curious actually, oh, okay. I'm gonna go right into it. So,
Okay.
with these like momentous occasions, like Halloween is like momentous,
Mhm.
and like the month milestones and her first holiday, Christmas or whatever. Do you feel any of this like pressure to make it like I don't know, like
Yeah.
a thing? Because like
Okay.
I mean, Instagram versus
Yes.
reality is one thing, and then I would imagine also adding on, like, all the effort it took to get to this point, and, like, she's finally here, and it's her first Halloween, and, like, now do you feel like you have to, like, make it a thing?
Okay, I'm gonna sidestep and add another point to this. This is Sunday morning conversation. Um, yes, and I also so her transfer day is on October 7th. And part of me is like, do we celebrate that? Like, is that something
Oh.
that we celebrate, like a transfer birthday? But then at the same time, and this is what I want to talk to other IVF parents about, do you make IVF your kid's personality? Like you don't, but also you want to celebrate how
Yeah.
hard it was and that you're finally here. And so back
Yeah.
to your question about holidays, it's like both I feel both things. Like part of me feels like you're just a normal baby celebrating your first Halloween. I don't want to make her feel like every single thing is like, oh, like we tried so hard for you, so we have to go extra big on this.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you kind of do feel that way of like, I think Christmas for me will be probably one of the more emotional ones. And I think maybe it's that case for other people too, like Christmas and birthdays, where it
Mm-hmm.
feel like those feel extra sad. I feel like when you're going through infertility, at least they did for me, like the Christmas time frame. And so, yeah, I don't know. I think there was a year that we went to Solvang. Have you been to Solvang during Christmas time?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I've been during Christmas. Is it so beautiful during Christmas? It's like a it's a
Dutch.
Nordic Dutch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it's Dutch.
So the
Town.
way right, so all of the homes and it's like going it like you feel like you're in another country. Like you
Yeah.
really do walking around. And during Christmas time, yeah, they do like the Christmas market vibes that you would get if you were in Europe.
Oh.
And they have a big tree lighting in the middle of the town and the choir comes out and the bands and it's really, really sweet.
Okay.
And a few Christmases ago, we went and there was a couple standing in front of us with their probably 2 or 3-year-old boy. And he was dancing and they were holding his hands and putting him up on their shoulders while the tree was being lit. And I just remember like having that feeling of like, will this ever be us? Like, are we ever going to get to have this experience? Because it doesn't feel like it. And so I think you think back to those moments when you realize, like, oh my gosh, like we do have that moment now. And so you do
Yeah.
kind of want to make it a little bit more special but also you don't want to make your kid feel weird and be like like
Yeah.
infertility and IVF is your whole personality, you know? So
Yeah. Like you're starting them off that way. I mean, she's only like 4 months old, so
I mean, I
she's
did think about dressing her up as a like mad scientist for Halloween of like a like something IVF themed,
that
you know,
is such a good
with like a
idea.
wig.
That is such a good costume idea. Oh my god. Uh, yeah, I
Mm,
can see how that would all ring true, like, wanting to make it special, not wanting to set them up for this, like, narrative that is really your story, not necessarily their
yeah.
story. Um, but also, like, taking all that pressure off, just doing what feels good for you guys and, like, not being don't, like, police yourself if you wanna celebrate all of those things too, you know?
Yeah.
So whatever feels good for you. I'm excited to see whatever she is, the little bean. She's so cute.
Yes, it will be very fun dressing her up. We're going to Boston. I think I told you that.
Oh.
So we'll be in Boston for
Oh,
Halloween.
yeah. Are you gonna
Yeah.
and I was telling you to do the Salem witch
Dude,
trials.
I
Go
don't
to
know
Salem.
if I need to talk to our friends who we're going to be with to see if that's something
It's
that
kind of
I definitely want to do
far.
like leaf peeping, like that whole
Oh, yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that'll be
So,
nice.
yeah,
Well, I, don't have the baby, but, I did buy another costume for Gwenny, our dog.
amazing. Incredible. What did you buy her?
She has now, several Halloween-themed, like, sweater things, and this one is a
Mhm.
ghost,
Love that.
and
Yes.
nothing fits her because, like, she's kind of long, like, she's
Mhm.
not, like
She's a
she's an
lap
Aussie Doodle,
Aussie doodle. Okay.
Australian Shepherd Poodle, but she's kinda long. I don't know if that comes from, like, the poodle side, I don't know, but she's very tall and lanky,
Mhm.
um, and, like, nothing fits her, so it's gonna be a crop top, and she's adorable, just showing it off.
I'm so excited to see photos.
I got
She's
her the first year we had her, I got this pumpkin one,
Mhm.
and it was so
The
silly,
striped one, it's like orange and black stripes. I'm, like,
No,
trying to picture it.
that's a different one,
That's a different
Katie.
one,
No,
okay.
this one
Okay,
is like a
sorry.
full-on pumpkin. It's like puffy. It looks like a pumpkin.
Okay.
And I should dig up the picture of me as a child in my first Halloween when I was a pumpkin, and we could put them side
Oh
by
my
side.
gosh, Amy, please do.
This is what infertility looks like 4 years in.
It's just
Dressing up
yes.
your animals.
Yes. Hey, we do what we have to do to survive and
Yeah.
make the best of it, you know?
Yeah. I'm like, I'm leaning full into it. She's my little bean.
She is. Yeah, she's
She gets
wonderful and
way too much attention. Nima's always like, "You're giving her too much attention." Like, okay, Katie, when she, like, does something or gets scared and I react and I'm like, "Oh, are you okay?" Or like, "You're okay,"
yeah.
"Come here," "Let me see," and I say all these things to her, and she knows what I'm saying because 'cause I've been doing it since she was a puppy, and she'll,
Mhm.
like, kind of uh, for the listener, I'm sort of, like, cowering a little bit, but, like, I'm more, like, coming in for a cuddle, kind of.
Yeah,
That's kinda
yeah.
what she does. She kinda, like, scoots in for, like, a cuddle and to, like, be sort of, like, what's the word? Like, soothed, And Nima's like, "You're giving her a complex. Like, you're making her not confident because, she, like, will spook herself or something." And I'll be like, "Oh,"
Right.
and she'll,
She
like, come and
knows.
snuggle.
Yes.
And I'm like, "Is this how I'm gonna be as a parent?" Like my kid is gonna, like, bump their head and I'm like, "Oh," and Nima's gonna be like, "You're giving our kid a
I can
complex."
I can see that. I can see you being the more because I feel like it's reversed for us where
Yeah.
Anthony is more of the, like, any sort of pain or yeah, like that sort of thing. He's the one that's like, "Oh my gosh, like, come here, let me hold you, let me,
Mm.
coddle you." And I'm like, "I love you, but unless you're, like, truly, truly hurt, like, the tears are not
They're
going
not
to
working.
they're not working." Like,
They're
I'll
not
give you
working here.
yeah, I'll give you a cuddle, but also I don't wanna, like,
Yeah.
indulge that sort of yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
man.
so I think
I'm
it's
I'm
opposite, but
I'm down a bad rabbit hole. I should check myself because I don't wanna be that for our future child. I feel like, they have to kinda learn and, like, self-soothe, and I'm, like, fully leaning into it with Gwenny. I'm like, "I'll soothe you."
yeah, but I feel like that's the same thing with contact naps, how everyone's like, "Don't contact nap with your baby because then they're gonna get
Mm.
used to sleeping on you." And it's like, I've worked so hard for this and I'm just I'm gonna do it, you know?
I'm
Like, I
gonna
want the
Yeah.
cuddles, you want the
Yeah.
yeah. You Gwenny loves you and she loves coming to you, and I
Yeah.
think, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I literally just tell him, like, "Excuse me, this is infertility, leave me alone."
Exactly. This is the estrogen, get off my
Yeah.
case.
Get off my case. Let me put
I
my
need
maternal
this.
instinct somewhere.
I need this. Okay, so
Yeah.
speaking of stickers
Oh,
on
yeah,
your
this has
body,
this has nothing to do with fertility, actually, it might, I don't know.
sort
Who
of
knows,
does. I
Katie?
mean,
Who
it has to do
knows?
with so Amy and I were talking this past week, and she was telling me we want to do an episode in the future about the topic of like all the things you put off in your physical
Mhm.
body because of infertility and IVF, whether it's just because you're so exhausted and can't stand the idea of going to another doctor's appointment, or just like you literally don't have time and bandwidth to take care of, a mole that is concerning
Yeah,
or a
that's such a
toothache
good
or
hey, that's such a good example.
yeah, like it's just
Like,
like whatever, like I'll just deal with it when I have time or when I'm done with all of this. And so
yeah,
Amy has this hip issue that she's had forever.
freaking hip issue. Yeah, it's such a good topic. Like, it's just especially when you kinda back up and realize, like, you either have the thing for so long, it's got like there's a risk related, like the mole is a good example, or like your toothache, like that could turn into a root canal, and
Mhm.
that's way worse than a filling or whatnot. But yeah, I've had this hip issue for years and I just kind of suck it up and sort of just go on with my life, like pain,
Yeah,
whatever, it's
right.
fine. Feels a lot like endometriosis, just like, yeah, whatever. You
Mm.
just survive. Um, but as my fertility journey on basically like the experimentation on my body has slowed down a bit, I, you know, it's like I'm glutton for punishment or like addicted to punishment because I'm like, might as well just now look into this other issue. I trade one doctor for another. Uh, and so it's kind of funny in that way. Like I both don't want to ever see, I want to like reduce the amount of medical stuff I've got going on in my life, but like that stuff doesn't just go away. And
Yeah.
I'm finally have a little bit of breathing room to think about it. So I started going down this path to try and figure out what's going on with my hip. And
Mhm.
I really am curious, like, what other people do. Like, do you just end up stacking all of your medical stuff? I would imagine a lot of us have to have, we have trade offs. We make trade offs just in terms of time. Like, you don't have
Yeah.
enough time to do, you're doing all of these diagnostic procedures for your fertility. And then you've got a similar set of diagnostic procedures for other things. Like I've done MRIs for fertility. Now I'm doing MRIs for my hip. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I'm curious about that kind of as a topic in general and like what people are putting off and how is that working out for you?
Well, and this is interesting too because so in the episode that we just published, Marty, who is a friend, a family friend,
Marty
cousin,
is Nima's cousin.
Nima's
Yeah.
cousin,
I'm going to
yes.
out
So
her.
she shared her story on our last podcast when we shared listener stories and had a cancer diagnosis while going through IVF
Mhm.
and yeah, so I think it just is like exactly what you're saying. Like, how do you focus on all of these other areas? I mean, infertility and fertility treatments require everything.
Mhm.
Like, there's
Yeah.
nothing left.
They soak
And
up they take up all the oxygen in the room, I think.
and
At
so
least
to
for me. At
have
least for me. I don't know how other people handle it. It's just
yeah, I truly don't either. I mean, I can't imagine going through something like cancer while also going
yeah.
through IVF and infertility. I also can't imagine going and just getting my skin checked or going to the dentist or going and getting my hip looked at. So, yeah, so Amy okay, so tell us about this treatment that
Okay,
you're
so I did all these like diagnostics and no one of course can find anything. It's Katie, it's so akin to my infertility situation where like no one knows anything, no one knows what to
yeah,
do about it. There's no like obvious cause of what's going on with my hip. You can't see it, like there's no obvious tear. There's a lot of inflammation and fluid, which I think is very interesting because
mhm,
of the tie back to endometriosis and Asherman's and chronic infection. Generally, like all of those are related to inflammation, fluid, chronic infection. And so I've been looking for how to treat this, like what to do, going to PT. And I went to an orthopedic surgeon and we looked at the MRIs and stuff like that. And I'm also looking into PRP for my hip. I got so
oh,
many
in okay,
things.
yeah,
Yeah.
uh-huh,
Yeah. Which that sounds like since we're not totally sure what's going on, like the PRP can probably help with inflammation. It can be like a really good thing for inflammation. They use it in sports medicine a lot, which is also interesting. Like it's much more widely used. PRP doctor told me that it's been applied to like sports medicine related type cases for around 15 years. But we don't know
okay,
how but think about how little research there's been done on it for fertility specific stuff,
yeah, of
right? And like
course,
there is research happening and more information coming out and more studies. But it's always interesting to me to like see the juxtaposition of it being adopted, something being adopted for one case and not for another.
mhm,
Anyway, that's a different topic. So he was telling me that it's been around for a while. It really does help with inflammation, but it's unlikely to like resolve the issue until we know exactly what the issue is. It's really good for like. Actually, I should fact check myself here. I won't say what it's good for, but he thinks it's going to support like reduction in inflammation. Um, I could do a cortisone shot. But that's like, I'm too young for that. Like, I guess that it only lasts for like 30 days to reduce inflammation and then it can
well, and
also
then do you
degrade the
have to
tissue.
keep
You have to keep
okay,
doing it. Yeah.
yeah,
And it like, as a young person, I guess in this situation, we're young. So at 38, too much cortisone impacts like the tissues. And so if I have to do it every month, it's not a good practice. So I went to another gal. I got referred to a gal from a yoga instructor that I take yoga from, a physical therapist woman that specializes in pain, and I went to her, and she has, like, a totally wild, like, approach to this.
Mhm.
It's called immunoneurofrequency therapy. Do you wanna say what it is?
Yeah, this is just from the AI overview, so take with that what you will. ANF therapy works by stimulating the release of natural pain relievers. The amino acids in ANF therapy can stimulate the brain to produce endorphins and or other neurotransmitters that have pain relieving effects. And then it improves blood flow and oxygenation and modulating electrical activity in the brain and nerves. It can alter the electrical signals in the brain and nerves, which may help to reduce pain and other symptoms.
Hmm. Yeah, so
So, yeah.
this PT's theory is that it's nothing structural that's causing my pain, but it may be related to my lymph nodes, which
Okay.
is interesting. So
Right.
she like went top to bottom body, like from my head, neck, shoulders, chest, like belly, legs, um, pushing on like your lymph areas, and it
Mhm.
was like, yeah, some of like my right side's pretty inflamed. And so she thinks that it's all related to like something is stuck there. And so if we can get like some movement going there, my body can sort of self regulate, self heal. This all sounds like witch doctor stuff, right? Like it sounds like a little, but you know, I think it's funny when I first, prior to infertility, I was very cut and dry and like do what the doctor says and like, you know,
Mhm.
didn't really ask questions. And at this point, having been through a lot of like standard care and not had great results or good experiences, I'm finding myself much more open to trying things as long as they're not going to
Yeah.
hurt me. And I do have a bar for like it can't hurt me, like as long as it's not going to hurt me. Like uh and maybe that's a different topic we can get into too, but is kind of funny to like reflect and realize like I'm trying some interesting things at this point in my
Yeah.
life, you
Yeah.
know. um
Mhm.
yeah, where I don't think that was who I was a couple years ago. I think I was much more like by the book, and like if it's
Mhm.
not like common,
Well, and we were kind of talking about this when you first brought it up of like you kind of hang on, I have a plane overhead. Okay, so
this is they
yes,
look
so
like
we
these
were
like, yeah,
yeah, they look like little
they look like
like
stickers.
make it like a thing, like
Yeah.
the acne patches, you know how like Gen
People are
Z
starting
wears
to
the
wear them on videos and stuff, right? Like, it's
yeah,
so
uh-huh.
funny. I'm like, lean into it. Yeah, like, more power to you.
What
Like,
I would have done to have those in high school, like the amount of foundation that I would cake onto
oh
zits
my God. Yeah,
and to like just now be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna put a sticker on it," and I would
I
have,
know.
yeah, too late for us,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
was,
It's not just like that you have it, it's that it's become like socially acceptable
yeah,
to
hmm
do that. And it's like, I had another realization of this. My girlfriends and I were at a bar in SF. This was probably like a couple of years ago now. And we were, out, and some of the gals have kids. So like this was a thing. We like went out night on the town, and we were like at this bar and waiting for drinks, and there were these girls in like full party dresses and outfits, like
yeah.
definitely early 20s, like definitely vibing in sneakers. And
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like,
Yes.
"Oh, this had to have
Uh-huh.
been a couple years ago." But I was like, "Oh my God, go girl." Like I
Yes.
walked these San Francisco hills in 4-inch pumps and spent
Mhm.
too much money at Nordstrom Rack and Macy's
Mhm.
sales section as an early young 20 something trying to buy like these like leather pumps and like, these sexy shoes.
Yeah.
And why? Why did we do that? Why did we do that? And that's what gives me hope about the women, the young women of this day and age. Really, it's like they're like,
They
"No, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna like bend over backwards and like wear these stupid shoes." They're like sticking up for their feet
mhm.
and themselves and wearing pimple patches and like living their lives.
Love
And I'm
it.
like, "Hell yeah." It's great.
Yes.
Yes.
Say it, Amy.
Yeah. What is it for
No,
that?
it's it's no, it's so good. There are even photos of, young people like going out to clubs or at bars, and the girls are wearing sweats or they'll be wearing baggy jeans. And like,
Okay.
do you remember how many times we would, well, not, I didn't party very much, but I'll throw myself into the, yeah, um, a story for a different day. But how like freezing, like being so, because I grew up in
So
Colorado.
cold.
So
Being
the
so
girls,
cold.
yes, like in Fort Collins, like in the college town, it would be snowing and people would be in mini skirts and high heels and just, and you're like, why are
All
we doing
the
this?
time. All the time. All the time, Katie.
So back to back to what I was going to say. And then we are going to,
Sunday mornings are fun.
she's been down for an hour. I'm going to say we
Okay.
have probably another 30
Okay.
minutes that we
Okay.
can
Crush it.
risk. But we have our Q&A, so we have questions. We should say now that this is going to be a 2-part episode. So if you're listening, sorry, the questions are probably going to be in next week's episode, but
Yep.
this will be a 2-parter. But what I was going to say is, when Amy and I were talking about this therapy that she's trying and just like all of the things that we do during the infertility and IVF journey, is that like, yeah, I think there is a part of the journey where you're just like, whatever my doctor says, that's what I'm going to do. And then when something starts going wrong, or you start getting that unexplained diagnosis, or we don't know what's wrong, we don't know why you're not getting quality eggs, we don't know why the embryos aren't sticking, like that's when we start allowing ourselves to be guinea pigs and like just kind of going in any direction, like the kind of what you were saying of like, if this isn't going to harm me, it could help
Mhm.
me. So therefore, like, I'll just try it. And the
Mhm.
example we were bringing up was the red light therapy, which I would love, love to have somebody on to talk about this. And if there is actually any science, I don't have the energy to like look and see at this point anymore. But
Yeah.
because I feel like the studies are so, like, it's still in such infancy, the medical research surrounding red light therapy specifically for
Infertility.
infertility. But how many times did we just lie in bed at night holding a red, like, you had the legit one.
I
I
had the
had,
legit one. Yeah.
Amy had the like buku bucks, like this is the one that's supposed to actually do stuff.
This is making me sound very susceptible.
No. Because the one that you have does, I feel like that's the one that
It's
doctors will recommend
mhm.
if they're
Mhm.
recommending it. I had like the Amazon, like, here's your red light device. And I'm just like holding it over my uterus, listening to a meditation on like
Yeah.
manifest, like your
Yeah.
womb opening like
Yeah.
a
The
flower,
right frequency. You're listening to like the meditation and the sounds and the right frequency for the
hmm
fertility frequency.
Oh,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
Yes. While wearing socks.
While wearing socks. Yeah. Your feet
Yes.
must be warm at all times.
Must be.
Yeah.
So anyway,
You
that's like
know?
a whole topic, but I just find the like idea of us allowing like, because the medicine isn't there and the science isn't there, we just kind of go on this journey of like, okay, well, we'll just like be your guinea pig, like just try it on us, like let's see if it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah, it's such a slippery slope for folks and for people, for me. And we were talking about this on the phone the other day, where like you're very vulnerable and like very
hmm
susceptible to things. And like we had somebody, right, we were talking about like the supplement craze, which that
Yeah.
would be a really interesting topic too, to have somebody who really researches this talk about that. Like, is it just really expensive pee?
Yeah.
But we're
hmm
always looking for ways that we can optimize, and what things are in our control that we can adjust and address, like, whether it be your diet or your workout plan, or what water filter you have, and all of that stuff, right? So I think there's a lot of good in that. And also, it's like there's an opportunity to put your energy somewhere when we have a lot of this energy that like pent up, that we can't we can't control much. But then it's also very slippery and like potentially risky and harmful to your pocket, harmful to your even your energy, like if it takes more than it gives, and you can spend a lot of money on that stuff. So I want to be really careful about that too. Like Katie and I have tried a lot of things. We're certainly not suggesting anyone else try those things.
Yes. This is the disclaimer. Do
Yes, here's
not
a disclaimer.
take this
And
as
like
medical
certainly
advice.
talk to your doctor and medical providers. I actually have not done any of these things without medical guidance. And so
Mm,
I think it also depends on like who your care team is. And I maybe purposely have sought out in the latter half of my infertility journey, folks like providers who have more of an experimental mindset or are willing to try things with me. And that's because the first several years of my journey has been very traditional and have been really bad and like have actually
mhm.
harmed me in many ways. And so for my journey specifically, like I have a care team, a group of folks who are like willing to try things, and I'm not going against if they're telling me don't do it, I'm not going against that.
Yeah.
So I just want to put that out there too. Like, so I want to be careful of like, we're talking about like some silly stuff or it seems silly, but yeah, maybe that's a good topic for another day too. Like, kind of what's your decision making process when you go seek out second opinions and alternative medicine and things like that. I also want to say that like this stuff that I've tried, and I think stuff you've tried, it does have research backing it.
Yeah.
It's not our typical Western standard of care, though.
No.
Um, for example, my orthopedic surgeon was like, "Well, we could do surgery when we don't actually know what the problem is on your hip." I'm like, "Well,
Mhm.
maybe I should try a couple of other things before we get to
Maybe, yeah.
surgery." And so I think there is research behind this stuff, but again, being careful to not be taken advantage of and know and like remind ourselves that like we actually are a very vulnerable community who's like really looking for support and some alternative to the hellscape that we are living in year after year, and that puts us in a really vulnerable spot. So, check your sources. Get second
Yeah.
opinions. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's all. Oh, I just have so many thoughts about it. It's like bringing me back to like all of the things. But
Mhm.
yes, I think it's do what works for you, right? Like do
Yeah.
what feels good to you. You don't have how do I say this? Um not choosing not to do something is not going to be the reason why you don't get pregnant or that it
Mm,
doesn't work. And I think that's something that I wish I would
mm.
have told myself earlier on is that like and I'm talking about the alternative things, right? The alternative things that are not necessarily even medicine, but they're just more of things that you see online that other people are doing of like, oh, you need to like
Oh.
change out your water filter or oh, you need to, stop drinking coffee before having food in the morning or
Mm,
things where it's like it just is like you were saying, it's a slippery slope. Like you can find someone to support basically
anything.
anything that is told to
Anything.
you,
Yeah.
but kind of where we've landed and at least what I've always gone back to is like I'm not getting pregnant because my walls have paint on them and I'm breathing in that. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
not the reason. Like I don't need to strip
Yeah.
my home of all of the
Yeah.
paint and like invest in
Mm,
non-toxic paint and like like
mm.
sure, if you want to do that and that feels good for you, great, but don't feel like if you don't do this, like it's not going to work,
Oh,
like
man.
IVF is yeah.
You could just drive yourself crazy with all of that. Like,
Exactly, you can.
now that I'm thinking about it, I even said like, "Oh, things that are in your control that might make you feel good," but actually that could even just make you feel way worse because that all that stuff is like technically in your control. Like
Mm,
the paint on your walls is technically in your control. No, this is insane. Like it's such a dangerous slope that we can, like, drive ourselves crazy trying to control all these variables, but you're so right, like, we have to also let some of that go and know that, like, that thing is not the reason it's not happening.
Mhm.
There are bigger things probably at play here. Um, yeah.
I remember I used to get so upset if Anthony wore cologne, and because I was like, "Oh my god, I'm not supposed to be inhaling this, like, I cannot
Yeah.
smell this," and we would get in arguments about it because I would be like, "How could you forget? Like, we're not supposed to be putting anything toxic on our
Mm,
bodies," or I would get or I bet a lot of people can relate to this, or maybe I'm just an awful partner, but I would get in the car, and if the seat heater was, like, automatically turned on, I would get so upset because and this is, like, in the dead of winter, right? He's, like, driving home from the fire department at, like, 5 in the morning, probably exhausted and cold and just wants, like, a
oh,
little bit of comfort, and I would get so mad because 'cause I'm like, "Seat heaters are so bad, like, you cannot be using seat heaters, like, we have had this conversation, like, what are you doing?" And now looking back at it, I'm just like, all of the things that I obsessed over,
mm,
um, walking pa I used to hold my breath walking past anyone who was smoking because I'm like, "The baby, I've gotta, like, protect any future baby in my womb by, like, holding my breath," and yeah, like, I mean, obviously, don't go surround yourself with people who are smoking, but also
mhm.
we have to keep living life. Like, we can't just,
Yeah.
like, put ourselves in a bubble.
Yeah. Ugh,
Yeah.
this is such a good topic, spicy topic. And it just started from me trying this, like, alternative
Stickers.
stickers. Yeah, they've got, like, they're, like, programmed at some frequency situation. I don't know, like, NASA uses them, something about that. So, I sound, like, very uneducated about this, and I kinda
No,
am, and it's okay.
that's
It's
okay.
okay.
It's
Yeah,
interesting,
yeah.
and we should
We'll
follow
see.
up on it. Let us know how it
Yeah,
goes.
thank you. You know what I think is really weird about it though? When she was talking to me, she's like, I feel like some of these alternative medicine or Eastern medicine or these types of providers, they're like they're like shamans. They're like, they have a different
Mm.
approach to, like,
Mhm.
addressing your pain and your symptoms, and like how they even ask you questions is very different than at your typical doctor office visit. And so she was, like, putting her hands on me and, like, pushing and pressure points and stuff and looking in my irises and, like, looked at my tongue, and it reminded me a lot of my favorite acupuncturist who I see,
Mhm.
just where she would, like,
The
guess that
tongue
I was low
photos.
on iron. Yeah, she was like, "Show me
Yes.
your tongue. Stick out your tongue."
Stick it
And,
out.
stick it out. And, and just kind of how they sort of seem to read things, like,
Mhm.
she would ask me questions, it was very, like, maybe a little woo-woo, felt very, like, psychic-y, like, almost in that, like, she was
Yeah.
asking me these questions where I'm like, "I didn't put that on the form," and she's, like, asking me leading
Yeah.
questions into things. And she was talking a lot about, inflammation, and then, of course, like, all the things that are going on with my body, like, came up for me where I told her all about uterus and chronic infection, and I always have fluid in my uterus and, all this. And she's like, "Yeah, I mean, they're all related." And so I
Yeah.
really do
Yeah.
wonder, there's some, like, my acupuncturist used to tell me, like, my body's been in overdrive. And that's pretty typical. Like, that makes a lot of sense when I see, like, chronic endometritis, chronic infection situation. Like,
Mhm.
your white blood cells are working overtime, your body's working overtime, you're under a lot of stress. And then for her to also kind of read that and, like, tie it together with the hip. And
Yeah.
so I do kind of wonder if all these things are interrelated. And I honestly can't think that they're not. Like, I feel like they have to be related.
That
They feed
yeah.
off of each other. We're one
Right.
body, we're one system. Our immune system is one system. So I think it's interesting to try to approach it in, like, a slightly different way, more holistically. And then also it reminds me of, like, how I was feeling when we decided to go down the surrogacy route while also
Mm.
trying to still pursue, like, learning more about alternative paths with Asherman's, where I was like, now I feel like I'm just like in investigation mode, you
Mhm.
know? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm so curious. Like my body's sort of
Well,
an
yeah,
experiment.
it goes back to the, like, if it's not harming you and you feel like you're in a good headspace to be like, "I wanna try
Mm,
this. I wanna see what happens if I implement this or try this new therapy." I don't think there's any
mm.
harm in that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's curious. Also, it, I mean, I'm totally aware that like I sound like I'm just throwing rocks at, I don't know.
But it
I don't know what's the
w
phrase?
throw
Throwing
throwing something at the wall to see what sticks.
throwing spaghetti, yeah, spaghetti at the wall, see what sticks. I totally am aware. Like I'm not delusional. I know that that it
But
sounds
isn't that what we're all
kind of
doing though in some
crazy.
sort of way, right?
Thank
We're
you
all
for
just like,
enabling me, Katie.
I not enabling, confirming your or supporting your what I think a lot of us feel, right? Of unless you are a very fortunate unless you are very fortunate in your infertility and IVF journey where it just kind
Mm,
of like works, which there's no shame in that either. Um, for many of us, it is kind of a trial and error, see what happens, and you do become kind of like your own little detective of, I
mhm,
mean, isn't that literally what Reddit is for the IVF community is like, what's your
mm,
protocol? Tell me what you are trying so that I can talk to my doctor about that. And
yeah,
I mean, you know,
yeah.
it's
I'll
how
give
we
one
get
more
through.
I'll give one more plug for this. I was actually pleasantly surprised uh in my chats with like the orthopedic surgeon and this other orthopedic doctor who does the PRP therapy for ortho related things. I brought up to both of them about endometriosis and I was like, could it be related? Because I did have endo. They
Yeah.
found it in that area of the hip area. They took it out. Um, they actually nicked a nerve bundle there, and my whole right leg was numb for like 3 to 4 months. I think we talked about that.
Hmm.
And like the pain went away at that point, which was great. And then it came back, obviously, which I'm glad. I'm glad I have feeling back in my thigh.
Yeah.
That's good. But but I brought it up to both of them, and usually I get sort of like a we have no idea, door shut, like they don't
Yeah.
entertain me on it. But both of them actually chatted with me about it. And they were very forthcoming with like, we don't know enough. It's totally possible. It's an inflammatory
Mm,
disease. And they're both male. And like usually I get a slammed door, but that was hopeful. You know, they
yeah.
didn't have an answer at all.
No, but they didn't
Uh
shut you down.
they didn't shut me down, and I was like, "Could
Yeah.
it be related? Like, it's inflammation, it's an inflammatory disease, it's a whole body disease." And so I was impressed by that. And so maybe there's hope for our medical
We
system.
should do, I would love to do like a positive doctor story episode where
Yeah.
we talk about like all of the times that we've been impressed
Ooh.
or surprised or supported,
Mhm.
felt cared for. I still remember the first time a nurse on the phone. This was like way, way, way back in, like before I even knew what reproductive endocrinologist was, right? Like I'm still working with my OB team to figure out what's
Mhm.
going wrong. And the nurse called to do like a telehealth appointment because I was on HMO. So I'm just like even trying to get my foot in the door. And I remember her
Mhm.
on the phone saying, "You've been trying for over a year." And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "I'm so sorry. That's really, really hard." And I like just started sobbing because I was like, no one has said that to me
Mhm.
yet, like no one has validated my story in the medical world. It's just been like, okay, well, go. I mean, this was like after the appointment that I had with the OB who was like, "Well, it looks like you're ovulating, so just go home and have sex tonight. Like just keep doing it. Keep doing it." And yeah, Anthony was there
Mhm.
for that appointment. So I was
Oh.
just like, I'm so glad you are witnessing this because this
Yeah.
is absolutely wild.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Totally
so
gaslighting. I
there are
love that.
definitely,
We should do one where we just kind of lean into
yeah,
what made it a good appointment, what made it a good experience, and where are the green flags? Maybe how to
where are the green,
identify the
ooh,
green
yeah,
flags.
the
Yeah.
green flags and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
doctors. I love
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Okay, I am going to ask you a question and
Wait, wait,
then we
wait.
are going. What?
Should we okay, no, sorry, go.
What were you gonna say?
Should we, like, say we're gonna do it's gonna be a part 2? 'Cause now I
Well,
think we
we're yeah. Yes, Amy, that is what we're doing. I'm gonna ask you a question related to what we were just talking about, and then we are gonna end it. And then we will record part 2, which is our listener Q&A.
Okay.
So this is, if you are listening, you are nearing the end of this episode. I'm going to ask Amy a question, and then we will pick this back up next week. But no, I want to know, based on the conversation we were just having, is there anything that you've tried that you've regretted trying? And not because it like was harmful, but you're just like, why did I do that? I wish I would not have done that. That was really dumb or really unenjoyable.
Mm. This is such a good question. I think a lot of the things I've done, I don't know. Do you have one in mind? Can you prompt me?
I'll tell you mine first, and we
Okay.
can talk
Yeah,
about
tell
this
me
with my
yours first.
acupuncturist because I'm sure she will have reasons for why you should do this. But I remember going to Sprouts and buying frozen liver in the meat section and being so surprised that they had it. Like, I didn't know I
Mhm.
could buy liver at Sprouts, and putting it up on
Yeah.
the conveyor belt, feeling so like granola. Like, look at me buying liver. Like, people must think I'm such a health nut. You know how it is. Like when you put like your groceries up on the conveyor belt and you're like,
Mhm.
what are people thinking about my
Oh,
haul?
yeah. That's how I
Yeah.
always feel when I go to Whole Foods, like, and it's a bottle of wine and 6 bars of chocolate.
Yeah, and you're like, "Don't judge me." Or it's a bottle of
This
wine
is
with a
for the
pregnancy
week
test, and you're
ahead. Oh.
like, because I've definitely done that before as well.
Oh my god. So good.
Um, but yes, so and then cooking the liver, I think I added it to, like, spaghetti sauce a couple of times,
Mhm.
and we did it maybe 2 or 3 times, and then Anthony was like, "Stop. This is gross. Stop doing this. Stop
Oh.
stop adding liver to things." There was one point that I blended it, like, into a smoothie.
Oh god.
Um,
That sounds
so
terrible.
I think I probably would have gotten pregnant and had successful IVF without that
Yeah.
experience. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
just, you know,
Yeah, the liver, that touches close to home. That's one I don't love to do either. I
well, you
get
did
force
liver
fed it.
juice.
I don't do liver juice.
Yeah, I thought you said that it's like liver
No, no.
juice from Nina's
No.
mom.
No. No, no. No, 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 no. No. No.
Am I not remembering this correctly?
No, you put in our personalities or whatever in the ChatGPT, like, image creator thing, and it made
Oh,
me with
with
bottle of
liver.
liver juice, which I was like, "What? Why? Liver?"
Wait, okay. I want to figure out how to do this with podcasts. So, reminder here, I'm going to insert the image over the video so
Yeah.
that they can see what we're talking
It's
about. But
so
yes,
absurd. Yours is really sad. I remember your image was really sad.
it's just like I just had bruises everywhere and looked like I'd been beat up.
You looked
They were
really depressed.
bad.
You looked really
What a
depressed.
trend. That was a weird trend.
Came and went very quickly. Um, Liver is one of them. No, Nima's mom would make it, and she'd make it fresh. Like, she would buy the liver from the deli or the counter or whatever, the butcher counter at the deli. I mean, maybe it's
Yeah.
at a deli. I don't know. But, like, the
Yeah.
counter. And then
Okay.
she would bring it over, and she would make it, and she would be like, "You have to have 3 pieces." And then started just making everybody in the family eat it because I was like, "This is not fair. Like, I don't wanna
Yeah.
do this alone. I need
Yeah.
support. I need some, like, support here." So we would all eat the liver, and, I still get yelled at by my acupuncturist about, like, low iron, so
Yeah. What is
it's a
the
thing. I need to do
why
it.
eat liver? What
It's like
does
It's such a source of iron.
Extremely high in nutrients, particularly
Mhm.
vitamin A, which can
Mhm.
lead to vitamin A toxicity if it
Ooh.
consumed in excess.
Ooh.
It
Well,
should
I'm not
be
eating that much. I'm eating like this much.
consumed in moderation.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yes, apparently it's nutrient dense, a high quality protein, rich in
Yeah.
vitamin A,
I
excellent
think it's a
iron
similar
source.
concept of like, I think vitamins get this flack a lot where like eating the thing that you need closest to its original form is going to give you the most benefit. So like if you need, eating leafy greens, like you're going to get
Mhm.
more nutrient benefit from your body digesting the food itself than
Yeah.
digesting like a pill or something. And so I think it's a similar concept of like you could just take iron pills, you could just take vitamin A or whatever, but
Yeah.
eating the actual source of it in like the food source is much better for your body, I think. I'm not a doctor or a dietitian, but that's kind of what I understand. Um,
Well,
so don't
if
this
you
is not
like
medical advice.
if you like liver, feel free to eat it. I wish I would
Did
have
not.
skipped out on that
Yeah.
experience.
I can't think of something that I regret trying. I think I've tried a lot of things. Like I did oxygen therapy, like in
Mhm.
it looked like a, I don't know, like a
Like a
blow up
capsule.
capsule, like I was going to a spaceship or something.
Mhm.
Post surgery, I would do that, and that was supposed to help healing. I don't think it did anything. Just really expensive. It was like a calming environment to just chill in for like an hour. I don't know that it did anything. Yeah. I don't know. I think honestly
Okay.
the thing that bothers me the most about my journey is that I've had so many surgeries
Mm.
and just like kept at it for so long that I feel like that was like a waste of effort and time and money. That's okay. That's a really harsh way to say it. um, I just wonder if I put myself through a lot of pain for
Mm.
when I could have maybe pivoted faster. So that's more of a
Okay.
answer, maybe more depressing.
That's I feel like that's a heavier, like, now we're getting into the
Yeah.
territory of regret
Uh,
and yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure I have a good one.
Okay, that's okay.
Ugh, I needed more funny responses. I
No,
don't
these
like
are
my
good.
responses. They're so dark and deep.
They're real is what they are.
Yeah. Liver's a good one, but I even though I wish I didn't do it, like I would still do it.
Yeah.
Like it's one of the
That's
things I wish
yeah.
I didn't do and wouldn't have to do because I just don't like the taste of it. No shame to anyone who does like it. It's
No, but
also
it's like
a staple in a lot of cultures. Like it's a
yeah.
staple source of protein in a lot of cultures. No,
Mhm.
this is not negative. I'm not being negative about any of it. I just don't particularly like it. So yeah, I wish I didn't do it, but
Would it
I probably would still do it. Maybe one thing I really would have liked to not have done was all of those timed intercourse tries where I was just like, this felt like a waste of money. Like,
yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
that just felt like a waste of money. Like trigger shots for timed intercourse, because it looked like I was going to be ovulating, which is, yeah, sure. I probably still would have done it anyway, but it did feel like a waste of money because we didn't know my full situation at the time. So it was just like
Mhm.
a waste of a cycle, a waste of money. Like, I don't know.
That reminds me of I wish I wouldn't have done again, I would have done it, but, like, looking back, the Preseed
Oh
is
my
absolutely
God.
disgusting, and, like, I so many times it was like, "This is how I got" we were trying for so long, and then we used Preseed, and then we got
Hmm.
pregnant the first time we used it, and, it
Hmm.
comes with, like, a pack of, I think, like, 6 syringes or whatever, so you can, like, technically use it so many times, and
Yeah.
it's gross. I just yeah, no thanks.
Yeah.
Pass.
It changes the experience, I'll say that.
Truly.
Way to take the romance out of the bedroom, even more so than it already is with
Even more
infertility.
so, yes. Even more so.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
Oh,
That is a good one. Yeah, the things we do.
The things we've
That's a
tried.
I feel like that's a good question we should ask the listeners, and because
Yeah,
we did the Q&A and people I think this was one of the questions, right?
I
Um,
think so. Something along these lines. Yeah.
yeah, that came up. I would wanna ask them to tell us what are some of the crazy things
Yeah.
they did that they, like, now
That'd be
looking
fun.
back were like, "This is so stupid."
I'll do that on social this week. We should do an episode on it, but we should do a chat box so people can just like anonymously
Mhm.
share all the
Yeah,
like wild things. I bet
yeah,
like most of us are all aligned with things that we've tried, thinking that we're the only ones to have done something. And it's like,
yeah.
oh no, we've
We've done it
all
all.
been there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well,
Okay.
let's wrap for this part one of this episode.
Yeah,
Good chat.
good chat.
Uh,
Stay tuned for
and
part 2 where we'll dig into more listener Q&A.
stay tuned. And also, I wanted to shout out before we go the
Mm.
newsletter because
Oh, yeah.
we have rebranded our newsletter to Amy Gets Full Credit for This Title.
Oh, no, no.
Everyone's Getting Pregnant Without Me. It's such a good title.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, we're just going to every week be sharing stories from listeners. Our listener story episodes are so like you guys love them. They're something I think people like hearing. I mean, we have our stories, but they're so limited in our
Mhm.
experiences. And so to be able to share stories from within this community is really important to us. And so we're going to continue doing listener episodes where people send in their voice notes, but we're also going to pull that over into the newsletter where every Friday we'll be sharing a story as well, both written and sometimes we'll just include like the audio version too. So you can continue hearing it there. So that's on Substack at, what is it? FriedEggs pod at Substack or dot
Oh, we're so
substack.com.
good. Fried
Oh,
eggs.
totally remember.
Yeah,
I think it's
friedegspodcast.substack.com.
FriedEggs podcast
Yeah.
at substack.com.
Yeah.
Entirely free.
Yeah.
So sign up, tell your friends, and if you want your story to be on, you can
Yeah.
email us at collabs at friedeggspod.com.
Collabs at
There.
friedegspod.com. We got it.
That's my
Yes, that's such a good plug. Fun fact, that was going to be the title of the podcast,
Mhm.
but we both thought it was a little too depressing for the podcast.
It's too depressing, too
Yeah,
long, but we
too
needed to
long.
find a place to use it because it's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It just
Love it.
Yeah. So,
I already
anyway,
love it.
okay.
And Katy has been the contributor. Her story, she has 2 stories up. So she's kicked us
Yeah.
off strong. And I'll get on there as well and can't wait to celebrate, or that's not the right word. Can't wait to
Yeah, I mean,
celebrate other
celebrate
people. Yeah.
our resilience and
Mm,
the stories that we all have and all of the different experiences too, because
yeah.
it's unique for everyone.
Mhm.
Everyone has their own experience with this. And so
Yeah.
it's important for us to highlight that.
Awesome. Yeah, it's great.
Cool.
Love it. Okay. Well, I'll
Oh,
see you later.
see you later.
For
Okay.
part 2.
Bye.
Okay, bye.